Let's get to a case that shook Fairfax County. Yesterday, a jury found Brendan Banfield guilty on all counts, included aggravated murder. Prosecutors say the Fairfax County man conspired with his family's former au pair to kill his wife and another man he intended to frame for the crime.
New this hour, we're joined by Fairfax County Commonwealth's Attorney Steve Descano, Deputy Commonwealth's Attorneys Gina Sands and Kelly Sprisler, who prosecuted the Banfield case. Gina, good morning. Well, we'll start good morning to all three of you. And Gina, let's start with you. Was there a moment when you felt this case had turned in your favor, where you felt confident about a guilty verdict?
Well, good morning. I think that as soon as we were able to put on our expert, Ms. Iris Dalligraph, the blood really was the show. And knowing that that evidence was admitted, knowing that the jury was able to hear all of her work and the work of the Fairfax County detectives in collecting that evidence, that was when I think the case was made.
Kelly, good morning. There were those that said Brendan Banfield did not seem remorseful during his testimony. To be quite transparent here, it didn't seem like he loved his wife, unable to convince the jury of that. What are your thoughts on that, and how did it play when it came to this verdict?
Good morning. I thought it made a big effect. I thought his testimony was frankly very effective for us. And from sitting right in front of him, the greatest emotion that to me he showed was when he described how Juliana was flirting with him. That was the greatest emotion and the greatest reaction that I saw from him. And then the rest of his testimony, he seemed frankly quite surprised to be cross-examined so thoroughly and aggressively by Jenna. So I think that his testimony made a significant impact in the case, and I think it was favorable to us.
All right, Steve, what about those who say that justice wasn't served when it comes to the former au pair, Juliana Peres Magalhães, and the deal that she received in exchange for her testimony?
Well, I think anytime that you have a case like this where there are multiple defendants, you're always trying to assign levels of culpability. And in our view, Brendan Banfield was the mastermind. He manipulated Juliana and brought her along. And let's remember, she is still facing up to 10 years in prison for her conviction. That'll be decided in about 2.5 weeks. But she brought great value to the case in that she was able to be in the room, put the jury in the room, help them get over any questions they might have, and probably help us get past that reasonable doubt threshold. So she was very important, and I think that the equities, when you weigh them, will find that this was in fact a smart move to make.
Steve, you know, she was also involved heavily in the violence here, a very violent attack on that day in the home. Are there any extenuating factors that could lead to a higher sentence above that 10 years for the former au pair?
No, the 10 years is the maximum for the charge that she pled guilty to. So that is what she will be facing. Like I said, the judge will decide what her sentence is in about 2.5 weeks.
All right, Gina, now during the cross-examination, we learned of some love letters that Banfield sent to the former au pair. How big of a role did that play in the verdict?
Sometimes I think those were maybe just a little bit more on the salacious side than they were on the having evidentiary value side. But I mean, they certainly gave him motive. They certainly helped the jury see why he did what he did, and that his attempts to minimize their relationship or the importance of their relationship were lost.
I'll ask the three of you as we wrap up here. This was fairly speedy as far as the time it took to hear all the testimony and the sentencing here. Are you happy with how this played out as far as giving the families a little bit of closure here?
Yeah, I think that the case went in as well as we could have hoped. I mean, we made a strategic decision before the beginning of this case to be surgical, to all killer, no filler, get in and get out, hit the highlights, really tell a story to the jury, make sure we don't lose them. I think we were successful in that, and our hope is that this verdict, this accountability, will help the victims' families on the path towards healing.
You know, let me ask one question. You might not know the answer to this, but I think a lot of us felt for this couple's little girl here. Is there anything without, bypassing any sort of confidence here? Is there anything to let us know how she's doing, maybe, how she is now that she has essentially lost both of her parents?
Well, without, I don't want to get too
Sure,
deep into
sure.
it because it is a minor, but what we can tell you is that, she is with family, and the court is making sure that she is in a place where she'll be loved and cared for.
All right, Commonwealth's Attorney Steve Descano, Deputy Commonwealth's Attorney Jenna Sands, and Kelly Sprisler, who prosecuted the Banfield case. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
All right, we've created a video playlist on our streaming app, WSA 9 Plus. Watch courtroom analysis and the Commonwealth's attorney's full response to the verdict on your own time.